Well, I just tried to upload something, so I currently have something in the draft just to see as a test. It looks like I can post again. It looks like some asshole was offended at some of my earlier videos that got removed. I got a 7-day or a 10-day ban. I couldn't post or upload anything. So it looks like I'm gonna have to move over to Odyssey or some other platform. I did create a Rumble channel, so I am over on Rumble for some of the more spicier videos that I can post to YouTube. And I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at Jews or nobody for my videos getting taken down. I should have expected that. I just won't post them here. I'll just post them over to fucking Rumble or Odyssey. I'm going to say this, though. Let your own cowardice be your own punishment. You who remove my video, your own cowardice is going to be your own punishment. People like you who censor wrong think, who censor the wrong opinion just because you don't like the opinion, are the reason why communist dictatorships like Kim Jong-un and other gulags can even stand, because they require the capitulation and the submission of the populace. If the populace weren't so spineless cowards, Kim Jong-un wouldn't have any power. It's all fear. It's all a fucking show. If everyone stopped fearing Kim Jong-un, even his own dumbass Oder followers, there wouldn't be a North Korean dictatorship. There wouldn't be it. It's all through fucking fear and propaganda. Now on to the real subject of this video. I'm just here to remind you that an apple a day keeps the globalist away. This is Thomas Sheridan, the apple and the frog working, and I'm just going to say that I've already casted some of my apples already. Should have done more research, because frog season, toad season is a little bit later in the United States, especially northeastern United States, New York, Maine, New England areas. It's usually like April or May, but I've already started casting them. I don't really think it's a big deal, like you do want the apple to be devoured by the toads and everything, but let's get into this.
Some of you have asked me about a new operation because we had such great success with the
I'm just going to speed this up.
during the Rona thing, and I've devised a new one. And again, you must pay attention to this and follow it exactly. Now, before I get into it, I'm going to tell you what inspired this and why you have to be very careful of the instructions I follow, because the magical operation requires every element of it to be thought out, and if it's not thought out properly, it can be backfired. Now, I'll give you an example of a magical operation that backfired spectacularly. Do you remember when Trump was elected, they had the Trump binding spell? And I said, every one of these involved in this Trump's binding spell, this because Trump...
And they took the needlecraft, the same people that hexed Trump, they took all the deadly needlecraft. Let's just skip ahead right into it.
Those of you in the southern hemisphere, I don't know what the situation is there regarding amphibians and spawning. Wait till then. How the operation is done is you get an apple, any kind of apple, doesn't have to be organic or anything, it's an apple. And you need a piece of thin paper that will dissolve easily, ideally toilet paper. Or
you don't need toilet paper. I've used a piece of notebook paper, and what you can actually get is a corer, an apple corer, which is a circular tubular blade that allows you to core pears and apples or lemons or like anything that has a core. But you have to wrap it very tightly.
Or rice paper or something like a tissue paper. But if you can't get that, the thinnest white paper you can find. You're going to write an intention, but not directly
an affirmation.
On the paper. So if you say something like, they won't bug me anymore with eating bugs, in your head, do a little scribble, or something. You're good at sigils, make a sigil. If you don't know how to make a sigil, write a little doodle, a shape that comes into your mind as you're thinking. They're not going to bug me by making me eat bugs. That kind of thing, I will own everything, and I will be very happy. You see, look for all their things like that, all those kind of mantras, kind of thing is like, I love my gas stove, and I will keep it forever. This kind of thing. A carbon tax will never exist. That kind of thing. The global, and you're just doing a doodle or a simple shape or something on the paper. But be very focused and really built up in your head, when you're doing it to a real extreme point. Maybe even watch a Klaus Schwab video beforehand, but don't mention his name in this thing.
That's very important. You never mention these fuckers by name. So you can write down, you can take a mantra, you can take one of these globalist mantras, and you can write it down, you can sigilize it. I do both. I make the sigil and the affirmation. The Joy of Satan taught me all this. You have a sigil, you have a certain affirmation, you can chant runes, or you can, even better, you can make your own barbarous words. And I'm going to teach you how to do that at the end of the video. So, if you can look past like the Nazi bullshit, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into World War II or any of that. But if you look past it, the Joy of Satan Ministries is really, really good practical magic and really good stuff, and you can use. And I still have a soft spot for them because they were my occult launching pad. If I never went through them, I would not be here right now. I would not be talking to you right now. I'd be doing something else. But you get an apple core, okay? And what you want to do, because it's even more powerful because it's like the core of an apple, you take your affirmation, all right? Now, say this, all right? Even like biblical curses, like you could implement the reverse Torah rituals, which I highly recommend. And even though I'm not technically a Joy of Satan member anymore, like I don't follow their cult beliefs like word for word, like no, I don't believe Satan is an alien. I don't believe Satan is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed extraterrestrial. Satan is much more deeper and much more profound than that. His presence is everywhere. He is completely beyond life, beyond death. He is the void. He is the absolute. He is magic itself. But can he come to you in the form of a blonde-haired, blue-eyed alien? Sure. But he can just as well come to you in the form of a mantis. He can come to you in the form of a dragon. He can come to you in the form of a goat, or more times than not, like a zoomorphic, like animal-headed, like the Egyptian gods. These are spirits. These are intelligences. These are cosmic intelligences. These are cosmic beings, and they're so elevated and so far above and beyond, our small human comprehension. There, what was I talking about? Yeah, so I'm going to type in reverse Torah ritual and see what pops up here. And look at that. Look at that. They're doing something good. And they have been attacked. They have been censored many times. So I type in reverse Torah ritual in the Bing. It's the first result that I'm looking for. The second result, Satan's Library, reverse Torah ritual. So I'm just going to randomly open a new tab. One of my favorite ones is the Curse Israel ritual. So you know how the dancing Israelis from 9/11 and when they sunk one of our boats, the USS Liberty, they sunk one of our boats, whatever, and that didn't start the Vietnam War, it started some other bullshit war, it started some other, not the Gulf War, but some other, Middle Eastern police action, and of course, they got away with it, and it was blamed on some, nothing burger Middle Eastern Islamic country, and so they sunk one of our ships, and America ended up doing Israel's dirty work for them. So remember that shit in Genesis 12, 2 and 3, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. Motherfucking retarded NPC Baptists who fucking say that shit like a fucking mantra every Sunday in these Protestant fucking churches and these Baptist fucking churches. I will bless those who bless Israel. I will curse those who curse Israel. That's why Israel's getting away with this shit. You're fucking feeding them. You're feeding your enemy. You are praying for your own damnation. It's just like Maxine Dietrich says there. People are literally praying for their own destruction. They are praying for their own damnation. So you could do something like this. You could do the Curse Israel reverse Torah ritual. Those who bless Israel are cursed. Those who curse Israel are blessed. And then you can write that down on paper. All right, vibrations and everything. The affirmations there. And then if you can make a sigil, like if you can like make up a sigil out of that, like you could do that too. All the better. I like to do all three, and you roll it up. Here's what you do. You have your apple on the altar, all right? You can do it with just your own energies. You can just vibrate the names. You can speak your affirmation. Speak it in multiples of 9, all right? Because 9 represents completion in numerology. You want to do it in multiples of 9. All right, so either 9 times, 18 times, 27, 36, and same with your affirmations. Now, granted, if you aim to do it 36 times, but you lost count at 35, or you ended up doing 38 or 40 affirmations on accident because you lost count, no big deal. No big deal. Your spell will still work. It'll still work. But if you can, try to do in multiples of 9. So you'd say that vibration, the ach arab ye'ev ach emush aladag avach achar avav loidag oig al ach se'ev amadot toch upshimlok achuv urv uch urvine roach ach muach ach lavumach lavavav. And then you do that 9 times in multiples of 9, and then for the same multiples of 9, either 9, 18, or 27, however many times you did the passage, you would say, Om, those who bless Israel are cursed, those who curse Israel are blessed. Om, those who bless Israel are cursed, those who curse Israel are blessed. Om, those who bless Israel are cursed, those who curse Israel are blessed. And you can really get in an altered state. Like, this is my favorite fucking reverse Torah ritual right there, the curse Israel ritual. I would do this for like minutes on end. Like, I would just, those who bless Israel are cursed, those who curse Israel are blessed, those who bless Israel are cursed, those who curse Israel are blessed. And I'd really fucking like get into it. Like, I'd fucking get into it, and I'd do it for like 20 minutes straight. So, like, I do this as like openings for black masses. Like when I did my black masses out in when I lived in Fabius, man, those are good fucking times. Those are good fucking memories, man. I do the Curse Israel RTR for about 20 minutes, man. That's so fucking good. But you could take that. Obviously, don't use my vibration because I butchered the thing. But go to the link in the description. It's got the pronunciations. It's got the MP3 for the ritual. Okay, so say you want to do that. You want to do the Curse Israel RTR, the reverse Torah ritual. You'd write everything down on paper. Those who bless Israel are cursed. Those who curse Israel are blessed. And if you can visualize a sigil, and sigils aren't hard to make. You just eliminate letters. So you eliminate repeating vowels, eliminating the vowels, and so all you have is like consonants or whatever. And then you take them and you put them together like a monogram there. And that's how you make a basic sigil. You take your apple core, right, and you plunge it into the apple, okay? You remove the core. Place the apple aside for a minute, okay? Take the core out, and you very tightly wrap the piece of paper around the core, okay? And it's almost like you can get as magical as you want. And what's so cool about it, it's almost like a nuclear reactor. Like, the first time I did this, it was so much fucking power. There is a retarded amount of power in this. And I'm not even going to explain why. Those of you who know. The apple is the most powerful sigil in European witchcraft. The most powerful fucking fruit, even more powerful than the pear. Technically in the Garden of Eden, the tree of knowledge was a fig tree or something, but everyone thought it was an apple, so technically it's an apple. But you wrap it around the apple core, right? And it's almost like you're sticking a nuclear rod into a containment vessel, like you're taking radioactive waste and you're sticking it into a containment vessel. This shit is powerful. You're making an astral bomb. When you do this, you're making an astral bomb, basically. And then what you're going to do, you want the apple to dissolve in the water. So you get a veggie peeler and you peel the skin off the apple as much as you can. Of course you can't get all the skin, but get most of the skin off. Throw away the skins. Do not feed it to your pets. Do not eat the skins. Do not put the skins in your garden or whatever. It's bad. It's bad energy. You want to flush the skins. You want to burn them, or you want to throw them away. Not in your house, not on your property. You want to throw them away far from you. So you have the skinned apple with an affirmation wrapped around the core, and you stuck it back in the apple, and you skin the apple. You have a skinned apple with a very, very powerful talisman that you made with it. And what you want to do with it now, you want to throw it into a frog spawn or a toad spawn. And I'm not going to explain why. You can listen to the Thomas Sheridan video. The toad or the frog, the amphibians, are the most powerful animals in witchcraft. Like, even in, like, there's the toad rite of Hecate, for example, and Hecatean witchcraft. I mean, that immediately catapults you across the abyss to initiate soul evolution. I mean, the toad, the amphibian, is a really, really powerful fucking sigil. And there's also, like, conspiracy theories, too, that our Earth was once a sea planet and everyone was salamanders. We don't come from monkeys. We actually all come from salamanders, and that we all lived in water. And then there's the aquatic ape theory that the first people, the first men, were like amphibious men. They could live in the water and on land. And then, a comet or a nuclear bomb or intervention or whatever eliminated most of our oceans, and that's how we got dry land and dry continents. But I'm not going to go into that. I mean, there's many reasons. There's deep occultism behind the symbol of the amphibian. So you want the amphibian spawn. It can be a fish, it can be a frog, but ideally frogs or toads are preferred. Now, granted, not all of you are going to have ponds or toad spawn with you. Try your best. And what you can do, you can make multiple. You can make different affirmations. Don't throw more than one apple unless it's the same affirmation. But don't do that. Just don't throw more than one apple into one, fucking pond or whatever. Okay, pick one pond per apple. If you can't find it, you can find an artificial lake. So if you have some people with nice homes living with you and they got an artificial lake, obviously don't get caught trespassing, but I don't see nothing wrong at night. You're walking by, and if it's in throwing distance where you're not gonna get in trouble, you don't have to step on the person's property, but if you can clearly throw it into their property, into their artificial pond or their artificial lake, if they got like a fountain or something, if you can throw it into their artificial lake as you're walking by on your morning jog or your morning hike or whatever, then do that. If you really have none of those, then I've tossed some of these in streams before, knowing that there's a possibility they may not have the same effect as throwing them into a pond, but I got a bag of apples and I chose multiple affirmations, multiple objectives and multiple intentions, that I want, changes I want to create in the world. And I've thrown them into ponds. I have thrown them into people's artificial lakes. I have thrown them into little streams that come out of drainage ditches off the side of the road. I've even done that too, knowing that out of that dozen apples that I've cast, one of those, two of those, three of those are going to work. 3 of those 12 apples are going to work. So you're going to cast a wide net, and you're going to know that one of your apples is going to work. One of your astral bombs is going to go off. And the amphibians is going to devour that, and they're going to take that energy, and they're going to carry it through the inner planes. They're going to carry that through the astral and through the multidimensional experience that is Earth. And they're going to create the changes. You may not know what change it is, but you got to believe that one of those apples is going to fucking work. An apple a day keeps the globalist away. Now, let's take an example, all right? Let's take an example, okay? Now, I can't tell you, I'd love to share with you. I would love to share with you some of the affirmations that I've done, but that would be giving away the spell, and then it wouldn't work. It would lose its power. Or it would backfire. So I'm not going to say that. But let's say you wanted to reverse, Joe Biden's Build Back Better. All right. So I open up Notepad right here. Build Back Better. All right. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can change the words into an entirely new meaning in English. like build up forever, or you could say it backwards in a form of a barbarous tongue, like reptab cob dub, or something like that, like retab cob blood, which is build back better backwards. So build back better, retab cob blid, and just sigilize it. Or you could say build up forever. Now, how can we take build up forever and how can we make a sonic sigil out of this? This is really fucking cool. So what we want to do, we want to remove repeating vowels in there. That's the first steps to making a sigil. So it's going to sound really cool. Stick around the end. This is going to be so really cool. So I is a repeating vowel. We don't know that. So we have another U. That's a repeating. Okay. And you just keep eliminating repeating letters until you have like a 3 or 5 letter, like jumbled garbled of sounds, so. All right, take a look at this, okay? This is what I have. So I open up Notepad. Okay, at the very top is Joe Biden's Build Back Better. Now, very important, you do not mention Joe Biden in this. You do not mention Charles Schwab. You do not mention Netanyahu. You do not mention any specific individual. This can backfire. All right, so I don't know how well you can see this, but Build Back Better, Build Up Forever, Bold Fervor, and Bold Fervor. So what you're going to do is you're going to chant, build up forever, build up forever, build up forever. We are not build back better. We build up forever. We build up forever. We build up forever. We build for eternity. We build towards eternity. We build towards eternity. And then basically you take your affirmation and bold fervor, bold fervor, bold fervor, until you end up with bold fervor, bold ferv, bold ferv, bold ferv, bold ferv. And you simplify it. And the reason why, that's the basis of all barbarous tongues. Some of them, in like the Greek magical papyri, and some of those, they are based on actual names. They are based on actual god names that have been shortened or hyphenated. But you can take words of power and you shorten them, you simplify them, till all you get is a bunch of sounds. What you're trying to do is you're transcending the rational mind. You see, the unconscious mind speaks in riddles, it speaks in symbols, it speaks in pictures, it speaks in nonsense. Okay? You want to speak to the irrational mind. You want to communicate with your soul. So, build up forever. You can chant build up forever if that's what you want to do, and write build up forever 100 times on a strip of toilet paper and then stuff it in an apple and cast it into the lake. Be my guest. It will probably work. You probably will get what you want. But if you really build up that energy, build up forever, build fervor, build fervor, blah, 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 blah. Get faster and faster and faster till it's like nonsense, till it like turns into a tongue twister. Build fervor, build fervor, bold fervor, bold fervor, bold fervor, fervor. That's what you want to do. Now let's go back. BLDPFVR. You take these 6 or 7 letters and you rearrange them and you make them into a sigil. So let's do that. Let's open up Paint. So you make a basic sigil right here. And get a brush there or a pencil. And then get a B. Get a D in there somewhere. That's an F. That's a basic sigil right there. That's a basic sigil. Or let's do a better one. Let's make a tree. That's our B right there. That's our L right there. That's our D right there. That's our P right there. That's our R. Basically, just play around with the different sigils there, you know, and just really see what you get, you know, see what you get with them, and just mess around, you know. Or you can use the key rho. The key rho is a very powerful symbol used by Christianity. You know, there's a fucking reason for this shit. You know, just fuck around with build up fervor. Obviously, you can't. Don't use this affirmation. Pick a different affirmation or modify it in a way to make it your own, and just shorten it, and then make a little symbol like this on it, and then, you know, fucking put that down on a piece of paper. You know, core your apple, wrap it tightly around the core, and then stuff it back in the center. Once you got the core with the affirmation tightly wrapped around, that's very important. Wrap it away from you because you're sending it out. If you roll it towards you, you're going to want to do like a money spell or something like that because you want something to come to you. But when you roll it away from you, you're sending it out. You're sending change out into the universe. Now, even with, say, the reverse Torah rituals, I'm gonna be honest with you. There is a potential trap there. Some of these reverse Torah rituals, where they name the Jews directly, you can do it, but if you're not a dedicated spiritual Satanist, there is risk of backfire. If you do a reverse Torah ritual and say the Jews have lost all protection, they lost all control of whatever, all power is in the hand of Gentiles, and you're not a dedicated spiritual Satanist, you don't have that protection from Satan, and you're not 100% committed, you could have some backfire. So what you can do, actually, back to reverse Torah rituals, what you can do is now, I've actually done this before. Where is, okay, so instead of, the Gentile world is now fully aware of the Jewish crimes against humanity. The blame shifting of their crimes on the Gentiles has ceased to be effective. The Jewish scapegoat has come back to the Jews and released all their lies and crimes back onto them. You could say the Christian scapegoat has returned to the church and released all the church's crimes back onto them. The Islamic scapegoat has returned to the mosque and returned all their lies and crimes back onto the mosque. The Jewish scapegoat has come back to the synagogue and released all their lies and crimes back onto the synagogue. Say that. That way you're not naming any specific individuals. You can say globalists, you can say any euphemism. But as long as you don't name any specific individuals who have done nothing to harm you, okay, they've done nothing, they haven't threatened you, they haven't gaslit you, they haven't forcibly drugged you, they haven't raped you, they haven't done nothing to you, and I'm pretty sure Bill Gates and Charles Schwab and Joe Biden, they haven't done any of those things to you as an individual. You do not fucking name them or it can backfire. But you can say the globalists are now being held accountable. The globalists are being held accountable. The world is now fully aware of the globalist crimes against humanity. The globalists are being held accountable. The globalists are paying for their crimes and many more. The world's now fully aware of their globalist crimes against humanity. The globalists are being held accountable. The globalists are paying for all these crimes and many more. I mean, you can say Jews, it's risky. It's really risky. But, not all Jews are the same. And there's like Jews that go to the synagogue, they know absolutely nothing about this. It's a very small group of Jews at the top who are really pulling the strings there. So don't say Jews, say globalists. Say the goat has returned to the synagogue to return all the lies and crimes. The goat has returned to the mosque and released all their lies and crimes back into them. The goat has returned to church and released all their lies and crimes back into them. You can do something like that. You can do something like that. But I'm going to put the link to all the reverse Torah rituals in the description. Feel free to combine them. Feel free to use your imagination. Get as creative as you want. Magic is all about creativity. That's why they call it witchcraft. It's the witch's craft. It's supposed to be fun. It is arts and craft, but it is arts and crafts that impacts life. So instead of making a beautiful Michelangelo painting, or a Mona Lisa that's going to really like knock one person or knock two people off their feet, you're making a fucking painting, you're making a sculpture that's going to knock the whole world on its ass and create radical fucking change. That's what real fucking magic is about. Aeonic magic, magic that changes fucking timelines and trajectory of the world itself. So I leave you with this. All the links, Thomas Sheridan, reverse Torah rituals, all be in the description. Have fun with this, okay? Have fun with this. Hail Satan, hail Shiva, hail Lucifer. Long live the horn god, sanguine gnosis. You can never keep a good archetype down forever. You can never keep a good goat or a good god down forever. And this is our fucking time.